This is the BBC in London. Buckingham Palace has made an announcement. The Queen died peacefully at Balmoral this afternoon. The King and the Queen Consort will remain at Balmoral this evening and will return to London tomorrow. To repeat, the royal family has delivered a statement. The Queen, who was 96, died peacefully at Balmoral, her residence in Scotland, this afternoon. The King and the Queen Consort will remain at Balmoral this evening and will return to London tomorrow. The Queen is the only monarch so many people here in the UK and around the world ever knew. She was surrounded by her 4 adult children, Charles, Anne, Andrew and Edward, and by one of her grandsons, Prince William. Rob Watson, our political correspondent, this moment.
I think this is an immensely sombre and seminal moment, not just, I think, for British history, but for world history. Sombre because she was clearly held in great affection, not just by the people of this country, but I think people around the world. And it's worth remembering, she had met thousands of them personally. She was incredibly well-travelled, and of course millions of others felt they knew her from seeing her for so many, many years. I say seminal in addition to sombre because she was, after all, head of state of 15 countries in addition to the UK. And seminal because I think her death marks the end of Britain's second Elizabethan era, an era that spanned the second half of the 20th century, the beginning of the 21st century. And, you know, her nearly 70 years of reign has seen the UK's transition from an imperial to post-imperial nation, from industrial to post-industrial, and from a largely white to multiracial, multi-ethnic, multi-religious and multinational society, and so much less deferential. Something else, of course, the Queen, as well as being perhaps the best known, the most famous woman in the world, is also one of the least well known. I mean, she was also something of an enigma, always holding in her emotions, always holding in her opinions. She had, after all, never given any interviews, never spoke about her feelings, other than in one way, which was to promise at a very early age that she would carry on her duties as long as she was alive.
Rob Watson, for the moment, many thanks. To recap the news broken by Buckingham Palace, delivered by Buckingham Palace, the Queen died peacefully this afternoon. The King and the Queen Consort will remain at Balmoral this evening and will return to London tomorrow. It is a moment in history in the United Kingdom, the passing of a monarch who served more than 70 years on the throne. People came together earlier this year to celebrate that 70th anniversary, and people will come together again to mark her passing. We can now join the rest of the BBC Radio from London.